The day I fell in love for the first time. I still remember that afternoon so clearly, like it happened yesterday. It was springtime, and everything around me felt soft and calm. The sky was light blue with a few white clouds. The sun was warm, but not too hot. The trees were full of green leaves, and small flowers were starting to bloom. There was a sweet smell in the air, like fresh grass and sunshine mixed together. I was sitting alone on a wooden bench in the schoolyard. It was quiet, only the sound of birds singing and a few students talking far away. I liked that kind of silence. It gave me time to think, to breathe, and just enjoy the moment. That day, I didn't have anything special to do. I had finished my classes early, and I was waiting for my friend to come out of the library. I had no plans, no worries, just a peaceful heart and a soft smile on my face. I remember watching the wind play with the trees. The leaves danced gently, and the sunlight made little golden shapes on the ground. Everything felt perfect in that simple way. I didn't know something special was about to happen. I didn't know that this quiet afternoon would stay in my memory forever. Sometimes, love does come in a loud way. It doesn't shout or knock on your door. Sometimes it comes quietly in a moment of peace when you're not even looking. And for me, that moment began on a calm spring afternoon. Then I saw him. He was standing near the library, talking with a friend. He wasn't loud or trying to get attention. He was just there, calm, quiet, and a little shy, I think. I don't know why, but something about him made me stop for a second. I watched him from a distance, not really meaning to. I didn't even know his name, but the way he smiled when he talked, the way he moved his hands while speaking, it made me feel something soft, something warm. My heart felt a little strange, like it was beating faster, but also slowing down at the same time. It wasn't like in the movies. There were no fireworks, no music playing in the background. Just a simple, quiet moment. A moment that felt different from all the others. I looked away quickly, afraid he might see me staring. But my thoughts stayed with him. I didn't understand it. Why him? Why now? I had never felt this way before. I told myself it was nothing, just a silly thought. But deep inside, I knew it was more than that. Something had changed. A small feeling had started to grow in my heart, quietly, but clearly, and that was the moment, the very first moment, I realized I might be falling in love. That night, I could sleep. I lay in bed, looking at the ceiling, thinking about him. I didn't even know his name, but his face kept coming back to my mind. His smile, his voice, the way he stood, a little quiet, a little shy. It was all so simple, but I could stop thinking about it. I tried to distract myself. I listened to music. I read a few pages of my favorite book. But nothing helped. My thoughts always returned to him, like my heart had already decided for me. I smiled to myself, quietly, in the dark. I felt silly. I didn't know him. I hadn't even talked to him. But somehow, just seeing him made me feel happy. It was a gentle kind of happiness, soft, warm, and quiet. The kind that stays with you, even when the world is sleeping. I started to wonder about him. What was his name? What kind of music did he like? Did he enjoy books like I did? Did he even notice me? I didn't have the answers, but I didn't really need them. Just the feeling was enough, that new, sweet feeling in my heart. It made everything around me feel lighter, like the air, the night, even the stars outside my window. And in that quiet night, with only my thoughts and the sound of my heartbeat, I knew something had changed. Something small but beautiful. Something called first love. The next day, I saw him again. He was walking alone this time, near the school garden. I was holding my notebook, pretending to read. But my eyes kept looking up, just hoping to see him. And there he was. My heart started beating faster. I didn't know what to do. Should I smile? Should I say something? Or just look away and act like I didn't notice? He walked closer, and before I could stop myself, I said, hello. It was just one word, so small, so simple. But it felt like the biggest word I had ever spoken. He looked a little surprised at first. Then he smiled, the same gentle smile I had seen the day before, and said, hello back. That was all. Just two small words between two people who didn't know each other yet. But to me, it felt like magic, like something had opened, a door, a window, maybe even my heart. After that, he kept walking, and I stood there for a moment, feeling a little silly, but also proud. I had done it. I had spoken, and he had smiled. That one tiny moment stayed with me all day. I kept replaying it in my mind, his smile, his voice, the way he looked at me. It made everything else feel brighter. Even the boring classes didn't feel so boring anymore. I didn't know what would happen next. I didn't have a plan, but I knew one thing for sure. Something beautiful had just begun, and my heart was quietly, slowly starting to bloom. Looking back now, I know it was just a small moment in a big world. We didn't talk much after that. Sometimes we passed each other in the hallway and shared a smile. Sometimes I saw him in the library, reading quietly, just like I imagined he would. We never became close. We never really had a chance to know each other. But somehow, that was okay, because it wasn't about being together. It wasn't about big love stories or perfect endings. It was about a feeling, soft, pure, and unforgettable. A feeling that came without warning and stayed quietly in a corner of my heart. He never knew how much he made me feel. He never knew that one smile, one hello, could mean so much. But I knew, and that was enough. That spring, I learned something beautiful. I learned that love doesn't always need to last forever. To be real, sometimes it only needs a moment, a glance, a heartbeat, a quiet afternoon. And that was the day I fell in love for the first time. A quiet kind of love, but a true one. Lesson 2. Why I still believe in love. I've been hurt before, more than once. I remember the nights I waited for a message that never came, the way my heart sank every time I heard a notification sound, hoping it was from him, but it wasn't. I remember sitting by the window, trying to hold back my tears, telling myself it's okay, maybe he's just busy. But deep inside, I knew I just didn't want to accept it. I've trusted people who didn't keep their promises. I've opened my heart, shared my secrets, given all my love, only to be left alone, feeling small and forgotten. There were days I asked myself, what's wrong with me? Why does love always hurt me? And sometimes I even thought maybe love wasn't real. Maybe it was just a beautiful story people tell to feel less lonely, something that works in movies, not in real life. For a while, I closed my heart. I stopped hoping. I told myself I was better off alone. I became afraid to feel too much, to care too deeply, to believe again, because believing meant risking. And I didn't want to break again. But even with all that pain, something inside me still whispered, softly, don't give up on love. But even after all the pain, I still believe in love. It might sound strange, but it's true. Even though I've been hurt, disappointed, and left behind, a small part of me never stopped hoping. There's a quiet voice inside my heart that keeps whispering, love is still real. Love is still possible. It's not because I forgot how much it hurt. I remember everything. The tears, the silence, the empty feeling when someone you care about walks away. But the pain didn't take away my belief. But it taught me something important. It showed me what love should not be. And that helped me see what love truly is. Real love isn't loud or dramatic. It doesn't come with promises that break or disappear when things get hard. Real love is gentle. It's patient. It shows up in the small moments. The quiet care, the little kindness, the choice to stay. I've seen that kind of love in old couples who still hold hands, in friends who check on each other after a bad day, in strangers who smile at you for no reason. These simple things, they remind me that love is all around us, even if we don't always notice. So yes, I still believe in love, not because it's perfect, not because it never hurts, but because deep inside, I know it's the one thing that makes life truly beautiful. I believe in love because I see it in the little things. Love isn't always a big story with flowers, music, and perfect words. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it hides in the background, softly holding everything together. It shows up when someone makes you a cup of tea without asking, or when they remember the little things you say, even the things you forget you said. It's in the way someone waits for you at the bus stop, even in the rain. It's in the way your friend looks at you and knows you're not okay, even when you smile. It's in those small texts that say, "Did you eat or get home safe?" Love lives in the ordinary. It's not about grand gestures. It's about attention. It's about choosing someone again and again, even on boring, difficult, or messy days. I've learned that love isn't loud. It's steady. It doesn't need to be shown off. It just needs to be felt. You feel it in the comfort of silence. You feel it when someone listens to you, not to reply, but just to understand. These moments, these tiny acts, they may look simple to others, but to the heart, they mean everything. And that's why, no matter what I've been through, I still believe in love. Because love, real love, is always there, soft, steady, and waiting quietly in the little things. I still believe in love because it has taught me so much. Even the love that didn't last, even the one that broke my heart, left something behind. It gave me lessons I couldn't learn anywhere else. I learned how to give without expecting too much. I learned how to listen, how to be patient, and how to care deeply for another person. But most of all, love taught me about myself. It showed me my strengths and my fears. It helped me see what I truly want, what I cannot accept, and what I deserve. Love held up a mirror and made me look at my heart, even the parts I didn't understand yet. Sometimes love hurts. Yes, it can leave scars, but those scars don't mean I lost. They mean I felt something real. They remind me that I was brave enough to open my heart, even knowing the risk. And when you love someone, even if it ends, you never walk away the same. You carry a part of that experience with you, a part that makes you softer, wiser, and stronger. That's why I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not ashamed of loving someone who didn't stay, because through it all, love shaped me. It helped me grow, and for that, I'm grateful. So yes, I still believe in love, not because it's perfect, not because it never fails, but because deep inside, I know it's still the most beautiful thing we can feel. Love isn't always forever. Sometimes it's short, sometimes it's confusing, but even when it ends, it leaves something behind, something warm, something true, a memory, a feeling, a lesson, a piece of someone that stays with us, even when they don't. Love makes life softer. It gives color to ordinary days. It brings comfort when words aren't enough. And even when it hurts, even when it leaves us in silence, it reminds us that we are human, that we are alive. And maybe that's why I haven't stopped believing, because no matter how many times love fades, I still look at the world with hope. I still smile when I see people holding hands. I still get butterflies when someone looks at me a little longer than usual. Because one day, maybe love will return, not to break me, but to stay. And until that day comes, I will keep believing, not loudly, not desperately, but quietly, gently, with an open heart and a soft soul. Because love, real love, is always worth believing in. If you find this video meaningful and enjoyable, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next videos. Thank you so much. Goodbye, and see you next time.